Even the best in class can get it wrong. Today, I'm going to point out some distortions on reports that are making it around the headlines. My name's J.O. I'm the author of the book there in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. I'm also an education fellow at the Alliance for Lifetime Income, a nonprofit organization used to educate both advisors and individuals about the value of having a protected lifetime income. We're here to this article by the Commonwealth Fund. It's also a non-for-profit. It's a think tank, much like the Alliance for Lifetime Income, just for a different arena of financial topics. This article says and implies that Medicare has an affordability problem. I don't agree with that. So let me first say that, as people will know, that when you're 64.9 years old, in almost every location in the country, if you try to buy individual health insurance under the Affordable Care Act, you're talking about certainly $1,000 a month. In addition to that, you're going to have deductibles, maybe $2,000 a year, if and only if you get the Affordable Care Act's APTC, Advanced Premium Tax Credit, which also lowers your deductible and out-of-pocket expenses. That all said, the issue I have with this article and the point of today is the fact that this article here is going to be quoted. It certainly is, when I'm just saying that the beginning point, the starting point here is off. Let's just talk about here. And so now what you have here is this article. A common misperception is that once a person becomes medical for Medicare, they no longer worry about bills or choosing a health plan. If you're brand new to Medicare, you should know, just like any other health insurance, it doesn't cover everything. Health insurance is a financial contract. You are paying X so that if you incur healthcare costs, your total bill will be lower. That does not mean that your total health care costs are zero. Crazy people write books to explain all of this in the left-hand side of your screen. Still don't think it's a good idea for you to write a book. Very, very bad process. Don't recommend it. Anyway, this isn't a pity party. This is actually to help you understand what is going on here. So for people that most have supplemental, or they have Medigap or Medicare Advantage, and you can see it here, they can through Medicare Advantage plan, 50% of the market at Medicare Advantage. However, typically used tools such as prior authorization to manage use of service, which can pose barriers to care. True. So first of all, this is the deep end of the pool, by all means. No one's going to question the people's qualifications here. No doubt. That all said, I don't want us to also be like Chicken Little, pose barriers to care. They don't tell you what the percent is. And we're going to get to that on the shortcuts that they've taken here in defining stuff used to create headlines. And my point here is that even the best in class, even the most qualified are doing so. Things that people should be aware. Using data from the Commonwealth survey, we did to extent to which beneficiaries are underinsured. And this is the key part. The point of today, and the reason that I hit record, is because they're using this term called underinsured. We're going to get into a deep dive in just a few moments. With high out-of-pocket costs or deductible relative to their income, or experience cost-related barriers to receiving care, having problem paying medical bills, and have difficulty paying Medicare premiums. Sample of 88,022. Fine. They have the resources to do so. The question is here. It's over here in the left-hand side of this column. What do we mean by underinsured? So this means one of the following statement applies. Out-of-pocket covering equal to 10% of more of household income. Okay. The reality is that under the Affordable Care Act, this includes the premiums. But here's my real point, is this second one. Out-of-pocket costs over the 12 months, excluding premiums, were equal to 5% or more of household income living under 200% of the FPL, which is the federal poverty level. The thing here is that when you make like statistics and percentages and things like that, people don't count dollars. Let's count dollars. 5% that exceed 5% or more of household income for individuals living under 200% of the federal poverty level. So if you take 5% of 27,000, what you get is $1,350. So for you to say a huge number of people face a bill like this and they find it challenging, yeah, well, if you lower the absolute dollar amount, then yes, you're going to have more people facing these issues. One in 5 people with Medicare were underinsured. I would not have called this underinsured at all. Not necessarily. Again, insurance at the beginning of this broadcast, at the beginning of this video, I explained it. Insurance is a financial contract. Its price is determined for everyone. However, your specific situation may assess the probability differently. Let's say you're Mr. Sick-a-Lot. If you're Mr. Sick-a-Lot, by the time you're 65, you already know this. You know what your personal history is. You know what your family history is. You know what your medications are and have been likely to be. Now, do you have a crystal ball that you can predict that a Martian will arrive on your front lawn? No, you cannot. Insurance doesn't either. My point is that if you're Mr. Sick-a-Lot, then absolutely, I have no problem with the idea that you could feel underinsured. Why? Because even when you purchase premiums, even when you purchase health insurance with high premium, you could still face out-of-pocket expenses of $1,350. Yeah, that is possible. Under Medigap, to be candid, that's not possible for the medical part. It is possible for the prescriptions. Even that to be capped at $2,000 a year beginning in 2025 as a result of the Inflation Reduction Act. So the bottom line here is my objection to this entire setup is the fact that they have used a definition here of a word, made it look bad, and then defined it in a way that, yeah, to make it seem as if, yes, 20% of the population can face a bill of $1,350 in a particular year. Yes, that is entirely possible. And I think everyday people understand this. The deductible constituted 5% or more. So if it's any one of these, then you are all blanket put under the umbrella of called underinsured. No, I would absolutely not call it underinsured. I wouldn't have signed the word underinsured to describe the population here. Our clients, readers of Maximize Your Medicare, I try to make this clear. You are accepting a financial risk in the instance that you face healthcare costs. So if you're Mr. or Miss Perfect, your likelihood of doing so, of facing healthcare costs, is lower. You're Miss Perfect. Of course it's lower. Therefore, your willingness to pay for ongoing high premiums should be lower. Now, is that adjusted for the fact that you're a person if you're also Miss Perfect and Miss Worrywart, that is totally fine, right? That's up to the consumer. That's not up to me to call you underinsured. It's not up to this website, clearly highly qualified writers, to be assigning this type of terminology used to attract attention. I don't like hysteria. I would much rather you have very even-handed, clear understanding of Medicare, the financial contract, and then Medigap as a financial contract, Medicare Advantage, the differences between these two. You can see lots of videos here on this channel discussing these differences. And from there, there's going to be a financial cost in the instance that you require healthcare services, just as any other type of insurance works. Let's just take a quick example. Flood insurance. If you live in Miami, you need to have flood insurance because of the higher probability of hurricanes, correct? That's why there's a problem in Florida today. California, wildfires, right? You need homeowners insurance. It's hard to get. Why? The sellers don't want to sell it. Multiple carriers canceling the availability at any price to buy homeowners insurance in those locations. Under health insurance, under Medicare, the reality is you're the one in control because you have the favored information about your personal situation. Maximize Your Medicare, this channel, there to help you understand this central fact so that it enables you to make the informed choice for yourself. That's all I got today. I had to intervene, make a short video because I saw this article, which happens to be making the rounds now, being referred to in other press clippings that I've seen, and try to address it right up front because of the fact that this terminology, this specific term of underinsured, needed a closer look before accepting all of the extra hot takes and all the extra news that comes from it. If you like today's video, please like, subscribe, tell someone else. I promise you, even if everything that I've said to you is obvious today, your neighbor, your brother, your friend, someone is underinformed. That's for sure.